So let's get started. Some quick announcements for you guys. The sale has started. To get your copy of Portrait Studio, you just have to go to istebrak.com and click on the store tab here. It is on sale for 55% off, and my masterclass is on sale for 50% off. And this is the lowest that it'll ever go in the year, so it doesn't get lower than this if you were waiting to buy either of them. They're both at the lowest price at the moment. If you can, please join us on my Discord community. We run a lot of really fun stuff. Just kind of build a community of familiar friends that you draw with, hang with. This is a great place to just chill. And usually everyone who's on the subreddit is also active on the Discord, so people are submitting their work to get critiqued on the Discord as much as the subreddit. The piece I picked today is from the subreddit, and to join that you just have to click here. It'll take you to my subreddit. Again, everything is run through here, and then a Discord server. Our Discord server is just a reflection of that. I wanted to take a look at this piece because there are some issues with it here and there. And I wanted to start off by talking about what an establishing shot is. An establishing shot is the initial zoom out shot before we get into a new area. So let's say the characters just did something in a certain area, that they achieved what it is they wanted to achieve, and now we're on another part of the story where something else is happening. Before you show us, as the movie director, the new part of the story, before you show us those new two characters in a different land talking, you first have to give us a shot that sits in between the previous shot and the new conversation, which is an establishing shot that basically tells the viewer we're in a completely different area, we just changed locations. This is where the next conversation you're about to see is happening in this scene. So when I look at this shot, what I see is an establishing shot. I just can't unsee it. I really do see an establishing shot here. But I just wanted to show you really quickly the different establishing shots we have for her story. And she wanders around, and most of the shots have some kind of establishing link to her place in this environment. This is kind of the vibe I want to go for my paint over, something like this. I hope I haven't broken copyright or infringed any copyright. I just flipped through some quick images. But I'm going to actually add another tree kind of leaning over, maybe a split tree, like a twin tree. And use the same palette on it as is visible in this one. And then just so that we feel like we're kind of peering in on this character, we're seeing her in her environment as the storyteller would want us to do. And there should really be much more light, and the light is just in between. So we're actually going to go for something like that since it's on some snow. I'm just going to let some of that light as well sit in front and on top of, or really it's underneath this character, but it's in front of the background mostly. And a bit of shadow here and there. I may add subsurface for the hair, but for now the hair goes back by using a blue somewhere. That's decent, I guess. I'm gonna flip it vertically, so it's like that, and then I'm going to distort it over to the side, and I'm just gonna keep messing with it until it feels like it's doing what it should do. Now, I don't want it exact, because shadows are never really exact like this. We just mess with them until they kind of represent the general mass of the character. And then I'm going to blur it and do everything else I have to do. I also have to make sure that it bends with the hill. Okay, and then I'm going to get rid of the stuff that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to make sure they meet here and there. I'm going to put it underneath her character. I'm okay with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to lower the opacity. I'm going to increase the saturation. And I'm going to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And I'm going to try to match it to the same exact value as that shadow behind her. So now what I'm going to do is just grab that white that's falling on the surface of everything and I'm just going to let it bounce back upward. So we're creating like a halo for the snow. And then the halo for her, I'm just going to add, it's not really a halo and she doesn't really glow, but we use it in movies to signal again, once again, signal to the viewer. This is precious, protect this thing, this is holy, this is clean, this is good, this is a good thing, this isn't an evil thing, we can rest now. It's the environment that's important and your character is actually secondary in your mind. But you only do that for the health and the sake of your character. So you're actually doing your character a favor by ignoring them temporarily and just focusing on what's happening really, what's the story telling about this scene. Not only are we seeing the character's part in the story, but the environment's part in the story. And that's light versus dark, good versus evil. Okay, and you might want to add some more trees, some more of this, some more of that. It's looking a lot like a Disney movie, and it wouldn't be complete without some birds. And you don't have to make it a big deal. It can be just tiny little birds. And then finally, I'm going to complete your story, which is adding that character who was spying on her. So I'm going to add their torso, the character's head. I'm going to try to make it look like a character looking up. But one thing I want to add before I go is the iridescence, kind of that glowy rainbow that's caught in all the crystalline white. So in a new layer, I'm just making a rainbow. So before, after. So we have two worlds. It was a close-up before, but you had some light at the top. It just felt very dark, but obviously we don't want to do that. We want to have an establishing shot. So I'm going to crop the crop I wanted to create. And now we have these two worlds. And then some more twigs and whatnots, whatever you want to do. You have more stuff in the foreground. You're not really using the foreground at all in the old one, which made it look more like a stage. If you want it to feel like a movie, you use the foreground. So before, after, you have more impact, you have more light, you have more presence in the environment, and you just have a more complete world, a complete illustration that draws you in. If you guys learned something today and you want to give back, please consider joining as a $1 patron. If you join as a $1 patron, you will get every single critique hour from 2022 for $1 a month. And those are the critique hours that are the full length, hour each. So they're not like 12 minutes anymore. They're the full 1 hour each, and you get all of them for $1 a month. And that's the watcher tier. That's the most important tier. It's just $1 a month, but it's a very, very important tier because it is a long-lasting tier. It's a long-term tier. This whole community stays really supported, stays funded, and it keeps my schedule open and it keeps everything running smoothly so I can make it to every single critique hour in the year. But really, it's just all about critique hour. If critique hour doesn't happen, nothing happens. And that's what being a watcher is all about. I can't wait to see you guys in the Discord. I can't wait to see you guys in the new year. Happy New Year. Happy holidays to you guys. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you guys in 2023. Bye.